Thank you. It's a privilege to be here. We do stand in a field where giants once tread. The reason we're here is not simply to remember a battle that took place over 700 years ago. It's to remember and keep alive the cause of Scotland. Because had that battle been lost, then it wouldn't be Bathgate no more, Linwood no more. It would have been Scotland no more. But the cause of Scotland survived that day, and it's been kept alive even during 300 years of an incorporating union. Other nations in Europe and elsewhere in the world have disappeared, but Scotland remains. We've now got a devolved parliament, but we've not got the independent parliament that we need to be able to provide for our people. We have had dark days in our lives before, but I have to say, darker days are coming once again. Poverty that I thought would never come back to Scotland, poverty not seen by my generation growing up in the 60s, is now stalking our communities. And yet our country is energy rich. Scotland is rich in energy. We have oil and gas and we're self-sufficient. We have renewables coming out our ears so much we don't know what to do with them, and they're going to cable them south. And yet our people now have a euphemism entering the English language called self-disconnection. It's not self-disconnection. People are not choosing not to have their sunbed or not to put the cooker on. They are not able to heat their homes or power their homes. And let's remember, in energy-rich Scotland, where so many Scots are fuel poor, what does self-disconnection mean? It doesn't mean a choice between heating your home or feeding your kids. It's about being able to power up your mobile phone to seek employment. It's about being able to power up the iPad for your laddie who's been given it from the school. About being able to wash your kids' clothes so they can go smart. It's about being able to put on the dialysis machine that you need to keep alive. In an energy-rich country, it is disgraceful. And that's why I'm delighted to hear that we're having a referendum next year. I wish we'd had one before. I think there's been opportunities in recent years when we should have and could have struck, but strike we must. And so I will unite for a referendum next year. I will defer to authority in the Order Yes movement. I will leaflet, chat doors, do what's necessary as I did in 2014, and we will all be united. But let's be clear. A referendum there must be. I don't want marched up to the top of the hill and marched back down again. That's not acceptable. We should have had a referendum by now. It will come in 23 and on it goes. And let me say, excuses won't be accepted. If for some reason Boris doesn't blink, if for some reason they can't get it through the court system, if for some reason we can't have a referendum in 2023, then let me say this, it won't be acceptable to say, well, we'll just have to have one more push. We'll just have to have one more mandate. We'll just have to go into one more election, wiping out the Tories. We've done that in election after election. So I'll unite for the referendum in 23. But if a referendum doesn't come, then 2023, now's the day and now's the hour. There are other ways by which we can take our people on to an independent country in which we can get access to our oil and gas and renewable energy. We can look at other ways at home, domestically and internationally. It'll simply not be acceptable to say, back in your box, Jock, you're not getting a referendum. And it will not be acceptable for the leaders of the independence movement to say, give us one more mandate onto that referendum. And if not, then it's alternative ways, democratically and peacefully, we will achieve our independence.